up yourself, family. What's the word? You know how we do. It's a blood clot vibes. Yes, yo. Got my camera going crazy like always. What's the word, yo? Got that Ethereum current flowing through these electrical signals. You know what I mean? Vortexian physics. That's right. It's the deal, King Bishop. Yeah, man, I just decided to get on for a second. Pure inspiration, no planning, just pure blood clot inspiration still. Yeah. What's the word? Dreadful Cosmo, what's the word, King? What's the word, Nazarene? I see the faith is kicking in, coming in. Yeah. Man. I was watching Sonetta the other night, and that young boy was on there, forget his name. He was exposing the origin of the biblical tales. Let's see if I can fix this You know what I mean? Hold tight, hold. Everybody hold tight. See if I get my camera fixed. Yes. It's a vibe. What's the word? Anybody want to hop on for a quick second? We'll just throw the link in there. Anybody want to hop on for a quick second? You know how we do. Yeah, it's interesting how people are coming to the realization that these gods is mortal men. I heard what's his name? Apostle reading the definition of Elohim 430 and admitting that God is associated with angels. But when we brought that out in the debate, it was hard for them to digest. Now they come into the fact that they most high God, they deity, is just that, a deity. We got Kayla in the building, the troublemaker. Well, go on, sister. Let's see you there. Man. Whoa. Big show. So yeah, like a lot of them are starting to admit that God is an angel. Something I've been saying since day one, that the biblical God that you call the Most High, El, Elyon, Elohim, whatever names, it's still a deity. You know what I mean? It's still a blood clot deity at the end of the day. Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, I was screaming for a long time. I forget the new camera still, As long as y'all can hear the God, you know what I mean? What did Paul say? He heard the voice but saw no man. That's what we got going on right now. They must see. They may hear voice, but they must see no man. Highly high. My shit frozen. Let me put on the other camera. Let me see how that works. It's a blood clot vibes. Still, you know what I mean? We're still on this victorious journey. You know what I mean? We still on this victorious journey, yo. Let me run some rhythm for the hydrant still. Oh, yeah.
So y'all want to say that the brother won, y'all can say what you want to. Y'all voted the way y'all voted. I ain't hurt.
LeBron, send that link, yo.
king, Selah Shalom, another victory. Hail meet the king, cause that's what it tend to be. War child got crushed, I took him out his misery. Swing swords cut his vocal cords quite sufficiently. Zion under my feet met his defeat instantly. Trying to compete, run the retreat before you mention me. In the Coliseum, I got eyes on my enemies. In mausoleums, I'ma leave them for coming centuries. Headshot fatal, couldn't recover from his injuries. Bloody gore, ligaments tore, did him vicious, gut him to the core. Give him some more, straight consistent, settle the score. Cause I'm for sure another victor. Cut through Zion like a knife, decapitate, take life. Put his head on the altar for the ultimate sacrifice. For years you've been living lies, following the myth in the sky. Greco-Roman theology through Ethiopian eyes. You just as blind as Christians who thinking Jesus is why. Truth in front your face and you seem to can't get it right. Jah Rastafari, not gonna save your life. Real killers moving silence in the shadow of night. The sleeping giant awoke, you know it's been a while. Coming out of hibernation, hungry, thirsty on the prowl. When the conquering lion growling, echoes about a mile. I'm the real god of war, this nigga just a war child. Sacrifice him to his god, now his soul's immortal. Walking through the valley of death on brimstone tile. Zion wanted smoke, got suffocated by poison clouds. If you can't take the heat, get the hell out the kitchen now. Standing on my square and I'm here to retain the crown. This debate Coliseum, I'm bringing the building down. 2 years ago we told you a new sheriff was in town. Battle of the holy books, bitch, we back you niggas down.
Woo! Man, it's hot up in this place, man.
Yo. Hey, yo, Bronze Yogi. Hey, yo, son. Send me the link. How you put that shit in the back chat? In the private chat. Yo, send me the link in the private chat. Bronze Yogi, so I can play that rhythm. We got the Bronze Yogi diss track. Matter of fact, we can play that. Look at that. See that? The Hydran Invincible. Them hear the voice, but I'm not see the Hydran. See that? Or it may just appear just so, you know. It may just appear just like that. Let's go ahead and run the Bronze Yogi. Let's run the Bronze Yogi.
Spread your last time, the yoga's your favorite. Open up the O, making moves to the matrix. Like the darkness in the basement, movements in the making. 4 horsemen took the HOK to the pavement. They say, yeah, Brian's, he be on one. You're my NPC, I guess I beat my own drum. Used to hold it down for the Bible and dog to Moses. Now you run around with bones in your noses. It's Mona, I can smell it in your nostril. Ain't nothing worse than to walk around with false apostle. Up shit creep without a paddle. Now I ain't never seen you niggas heal or raise a dead with the shadow. Is it JJ 7K or JJ Fad? Either way we know we making JJ mad. Cause mine came through and beat JJ bad. Crying and shit, somebody get JJ pads. Would do anything to get some views. Last I heard, he was debating trying to earn money to get some food. How in the hell on your own channel you getting booed? The higher light, like niggas you getting tripping. No lions in there, tell the truth, y'all niggas kittens.
And this is Dreadful Yogi approved.
Yeah. I got you. Yeah, it's crazy, yo. Madness going on in Trinidad, Venezuela. Yeah, I'm gonna capture them. Now, see, now. Coming back to what I was saying, yo. You see how America ran up in Venezuela and took the president out of there? This is the same exact thing when I was explaining in the debate about Rome authority. The same way you see President Trump call a shot He brought soldiers to Venezuela and took out the motherfucking president, exiled him out. Is the same way Marcion, Constantius, and Justin I did the exact same thing. They exiled out the Miaphysites or the Alexandrian Coptic Christians out of Alexandria, Egypt. So we still seeing Rome flex their authority today, same way. Yes, Keon, create a stand between me and now. Yeah, if I pray to Jah, nothing to go on in them places there, yes. Keon mash up your little island of Trinidad, you mad? Exactly, Queen, right? Right authority, you know what I mean? It's like I was saying, the same way we see what's going on today is a prime example of what I was talking about in that debate. You know what I mean? You don't see Venezuelans running up on American soil, bringing the war to the Americans, but we do see America bringing the war to the Venezuelan front door. And this is what I was talking about the whole time. The authority. Having the authority over a people. Let me see something here. All right, let me come down. For example, and there was a couple other things that the brother said that was off when he was talking about the Miaphysite had their own theology. No, the Miaphysite theology and the Deiphysite theology is one and the same. The only difference is one is arguing if Jesus Christ is God and one is arguing if he was flesh and blood. So it's still a Greco-Roman theology that you're arguing. That's right, son. Rome, still Roman Empire. Exactly. America is the far western extension of the empire. That's it. America is still Rome. We the military force of the Roman Empire. You know what I mean? Yeah, look at that. Trump said he's going to run Venezuela. Now, what we talking the same way these goddamn Eastern and Western Roman Empire ran Alexandria, treated them niggas like pawns, is the same way Trump is doing Venezuela. In real time, yo. That second round of my debate is probably the most vital because we're dealing with authority. We just show Rome got their authority, got their necks on the feet. But I'm Ethiopian still. All right. Look at this. The Venezuelan president captured. Him capture him, boy. I tell it all, yeah. You better be careful out there, you know. All right, so look. There he is right there. Look at that. Got him. Look at that. 9 hours ago, they got him, bro. This is the same way that the Romans had the Alexandrian Coptic priest looking. It's either you get exiled or we gonna handcuff you like this. Look at that. Look at that. See that? And look at that. The Venezuelan people are happy. They feel what? Liberated. They feel free from the oppression of this president, according to their own people. So this is a prime example. So here you have the Venezuelan president, and then you have niggas like Dioscorus, a Miaphysite, right? Dioscorus is equivalent to him. Why? Dioscorus got pushed out. Dioscorus was low running at the end of the day. Let's get a source. Now, this is Flavian. They killed him. How did the Miaphysites come to Ethiopia, right? How did they get pushed out? By this man, Justin. The same way the Americans came up on the same way these Americans went to Venezuela and captured the president and brought him back or took him wherever. It's the same way Justin did the same thing. He escorted this guy, Dioscorus, out of position. Get out of here, son. You ain't running nothing. Kicked him out of Alexandria, Egypt. Justin did that. Source. When Justin became emperor, all those who did not accept the Council of Chalcedon were deprived of their churches. See that? So that's like saying, I'm going to put this in layman terms with Trump. When Trump became president, all those who did not accept the Council of Chalcedon were deprived of their churches. Doesn't that sound interesting? How when you remove the names and put it in today's time, it's the same ruling? Next source, Imperial Edict of Justin. Let no one who rejects the Holy Council of Chalcedon remain in the church. That's like Trump saying, yo, if anyone disrespects this Holy Council, they're not going to remain in the church. So if President Trump said, yo, we ain't doing no more this in the church, and all churches got to follow suit. You could cause an uprising, you could revolt, you could do all that, but the fact that he has the authority and power to do it is what we're talking about. And it says, source, John of Ephesus, Ecclesiastical Histories, Part 2. Under Justin, the persecution arose again with all violence, and many bishops were driven from their see. The word sees means seat of authority. Now look at that. That's Justin. There you go right here. That's the big homie right there pushing out the Miaphysites out of Alexandria, Egypt. Not just Alexandria, Egypt. Anywhere, even the Antioch. Niggas getting pushed out of Antioch. But guess what place they're not messing with, though? Y'all want to talk, they ain't messing with Ethiopia, man. Ethiopia been compromised. Ethiopia been compromised since the 4th century Common Era. Ethiopia been compromised since King Ezana. He's the one who gave you them Christianity outfits. But nonetheless, under Justin, the persecution arose again with all violence, and many bishops were driven from their seats. Now let's put this in modern terms. Let's use Trump. Under Trump's administration, the persecution arose again with all violence, and many bishops were driven from their seats. See that? It's the same power of authority that we see today. We got this guy. He's representing like the Miaphysite. Let's say he's a Miaphysite. And let's say Trump is a Deiphysite. There they go. They go to Miaphysite and the Deiphysite right here. Trump and this guy. Who has the authority? Trump. You don't see the Venezuelan president sending troops to Washington, D.C.? Trump came to this nigga headquarters and captured him. The same way in antiquity, source, ecclesiastical histories. You got that? You went to the store and get that? Yeah. Let me see it. Source, ecclesiastical histories. Dioscorus was banished by the command of Emperor Marcion. Now, let's put this in layman terms. I don't know how to pronounce this president's name. Maduro. Let's say Maduro. Now, let's put it in real terms. So this is basically saying Dioscorus was banished by the commandment of the Emperor Marcion. That's like saying Maduro was banished by the commandment of the President Trump. What's the difference? You tell me what's the difference. Rome flexing their authority in the 3rd, 4th century Common Era. Rome flexing their authority under the auspice of America. What's the difference? Y'all got to watch out, boy. Rome ain't playing no games. Now look. Source, Council of Chalcedon, 451, Session 1. Dioscorus is deposed from all priestly dignity for crimes which he is accused. So here you have Justin deposing Dioscorus. Now, if Alexandria, Egypt was powerful, they wouldn't have took that. They would have fought them head on. You know what I mean? Ain't no nuclear bombs back then. So this is straight up warfare. This is straight up, you know what I mean? How many soldiers you got? Who willing to ride with you? And obviously we see that Rome is still the head nigga in charge of this situation. The same way Trump, is in charge of this situation. Look at that. He a war general too, but he got captured, Joe. Imagine that. You running your country, and a foreign nation comes and take you out of position. And then the people is happy. Just imagine you locked up and looking at your people happy of your capture. What do you think he gonna do when he can get out of office? Boy, he gonna try to. if he get back to be the Venezuelan president, he gonna be wilding on his own people, yo. Oh, y'all siding with the American? That's what we doing. All right, that's what we doing, son. Yeah, and for coming deal with your skunk, yes. So indeed, Joe, Dioscorus got deposed from Marcion, right? And look at again, he got deposed. Marcion deposed Dioscorus and then installed another pope. I appreciate you. Now that's like Trump deposing Mardo, whatever the nigga name is, right? And then putting somebody else in office. We known for doing that too. You know what I mean? Killing out the loyal, the real ones and putting puppets in place. So now that Venezuela has no president, who's going to get put in place? You know, Trump going to be behind it. He already showed authority that he got power to push this nigga out of office. The same way he got power to push him out of office is the same way he got power to put somebody in office. The same way Marcion pushed out Dioscorus and installed Pope Potrius is the same way Trump could do the same thing in 2026. Still seeing the Roman Empire flourishing today. Who going to stop the Roman Empire, yo? Who going to stop Rome? Who gonna stop America? You dig? And this is how the Miaphysite Greco-Roman theology came into Ethiopia, because they were what? Pushed out of Alexandria, Egypt by Emperor Justin I. This again demonstrates Romans' authority, not only through political enforcement, but also through control over the Greco-Roman Christological doctrine. Now, that's what people don't realize. They just didn't push out these niggas politically. This was religiously driven as well. They're arguing over philosophy. You know what I mean? That's what they arguing. That's why I come back up here to this whole argument with the Diophysites and the Miaphysites and all that. And look, come back down again. It happened again, real quick, fast. Constantius removed Athanasius and put in St. George in office. So come on, man. You got Marcion doing it to Dioscorus. Then you got Constantius doing it to Athanasius. Huh? What type of power these niggas got? If Alexandria, Egypt is looking like this, what of Ethiopia then? You think just because Roman didn't fly in Ethiopia that Ethiopia was never colonized? Y'all been colonized, man. Been colonized. Selassie, do y'all know this? Selassie had ops too. Go watch some of them Selassie documentaries. Niggas, the Eritrean president, some of them niggas wasn't rocking with, a lot of these niggas wasn't rocking with Selassie like that, like y'all think. Selassie had to run to the Europeans for help. He's a sovereign ruler. He got soldiers on the ground. I'm sure he got airplanes that could fly to Rome, fuel them shits up, take them niggas to headquarters to bring the battle to Rome front door. But we don't see that. Mm-hmm. So don't talk to me about Ethiopia when Ethiopia been colonized since the 4th century Common Era with Christianity. And then got decimated by the Italian army in the 30s in modern times. See that? Don't think for once that these Europeans won't run up in Ethiopia and decimate the shit. You ever seen that movie Black Hawk Down? How many of y'all see that movie Black Hawk Down? You put in that movie Black Hawk Down. Remember that movie? Black Hawk Down. Who remember this movie? Hold up. Now, this movie in Black Hawk Down, them niggas ran up in Somalia. Y'all remember this movie Black Hawk Down? That was a damn good movie, too. Huh? This is when the U.S. troops ran up in Somalia, killing shit. Again, showing Rome's authority, running up in these countries, these African countries, decimating shit. We just seen that Rome dropped the bomb on Nigeria. Trump dropped the bomb on Nigeria. What are we talking about? Didn't the nigga just drop a bomb in Nigeria? This is Rome flexing their authority in Africa. What are we talking about? Oh, Ethiopia had never been colonized. Fuck you that. If America, Rome wanted to go to Ethiopia right now and steal whatever they want, they got the power to do it, and they will do it. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. Selassie is an example of how they came through and decimated Rome. Ethiopia. So we got to be careful of this beast. This beast is not playing no games. You understand that? I hope so. Yeah, you can do it. You got it. Get to me. So don't get it twisted, Joe. The fucking beast is Rome. Mystery Babylon is fucking Rome, my nigga. The Roman Empire is who you need to watch out for. You dig? What's the word? Where I say family? I see them chiming in, scoring. Where I say big man? Shout out to my man Hilltop. You know what I mean? We got brothers, boots on the ground out there in Thailand. You know what I mean? We got Israelites all over the place, yo. When they say scatter in the four corners, yeah, we scatter in the four corners for real. Mr. John, where say big man? Large up yourself, yeah? James Messiah King. Spirit Messiah. Large up to the family, yo. I wonder if anyone has considered making reaction videos to other videos discussing various biblical topics. Well, I know one guy did a react video to the debate I had with Zion Warchild. This Rasta nigga, I forget his name. Well, Ras Iadonis. You know what I mean? He been around for a minute. I debated him years ago. I buried him. This is before YouTube had lives. This is when you had to upload your videos and you only had 10 minutes of airtime back then. Yeah. I'll share the link. I'll share the link to the reaction video. But there's plenty of reaction videos dealing with biblical text indeed. Let me see if we can find that reaction video so y'all can see their eyes. I'll see it in the link too. And in the reaction video, now keep in mind the reaction video is from a Rasta. It's a Rasta man who's doing the reaction. So automatically he would side with Warchild. But even him, the Rasta man, admit that Zion Warchild lost the debate coming out of his. I'm gonna send y'all a link so y'all can watch it on your own time. At a reaction video. This brother named Ras Iadonis. He's been around for a long time. He had day one, not day one with the gang, but day one on YouTube. He's been putting that pain. And he came at the Owaspi years ago, over a decade ago. I could find that video too. Yeah, I'll be tripping like them. Appreciate you. Niggas been going at it for a minute. All right, let me find that joint real quick. Sila Shalom versus the youth then. I'm gonna share. Here go the reaction video right here. I'm gonna share it with the family. Cool. Copy the link, so here's the link to the reaction video right here. There go the link. This is how it looks. Let me share my screen so y'all can see how it looks when y'all look for it. Right? Boom. That's it right there. That's the video. If you want to hear somebody who made their opinion on the debate, this is it right here. This is the web channel Rastafari Jews. So y'all go click on that and hear from his mouth, his bedroom, how we took he didn't do the whole video. He did the Q&A. You know niggas like to cherry pick. So he cherry picked a little section when the Easy Bands was saying that, what about the black Madonna? You know, if they're worshiping the white Madonna and the blah, 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 all that was foolishness. Because if we would have had to go further with that scenario, then he would have had to admit that Mary is the mother of God, because that's the purpose of the shrine, the black Madonna. I sourced up how they verified that Mary is the mother of God. Now, Easy Bands and Warchild and them would have had to admit that Mary is the mother of God, because that is the purpose and the concept of that picture. And I sourced it. You want to see that, Ras? Yes, King. Link in the and I'm back them. Yo, I heard somebody come on for me. I heard somebody hop on and hop off. Wagwan bedroom. Yeah, we outside with it though, man. Your boy Slash Shalom is in the building. Creative Gang is undefeated. You know what I mean? I will play some of it, but I don't want to waste time. Y'all can just watch that on your own time and shit like that. Then we got it's dreadful. Yeah, so you know what I mean? It's time for the hydrant to light up and spliff. Get the day one. You know what I mean? Hold tight. Hold tight, hold tight. Everybody hold tight. Yeah. What's the word? If anybody want to hop on, the link is in the chat. The link is in the chat if anybody want to hop on and talk some talk, chop it up, challenge, whatever. Even the other day when the Benjamin came on, I guess he was a part of the, I don't know what squad he was a part of. But even him, you know what I mean? People be saying like, yo, man, you biased, Sila, you biased because you speak against Kemet, you speak against the Hebrews. Yo, I ain't biased. I love my people, yo. I'm against falsehood and false doctrine. So what you stand on is truth. For me, could be falsehood. And that's where the problem occurs, because you believe in the 7-day creation story in Genesis as the way that God created the world. I'm saying that's false. So if you hold dare to that, of course you're going to get defensive. If you follow Kemet and I say, well, the Commission creation story is false. There's no Geb, there's no Shu. All those are aspects of nature. But even in the creation story, those aspects are nature. Those aspects of nature are not explained according to how nature runs. You understand? You understand? Nature flows in cycles. We showed how the vortex creator creates all things. Hey, yo, Kila, go in the group chat, yo. The creator group, the Creator Gang Incorporated, and scroll up. It's this female. She was saying something, but she looked just like you when I tagged you and said, yo, that's you, Kila. Go back and scroll up and look at the chat, yo. And laugh at it. Peace to the gang. So now, you know what I found? Y'all hear about the Codex Sinaiticus? Everybody talk about the Codex Sinaiticus, right? The Codex Sinaiticus. This right here. See the Codex Sinaiticus? Everybody talk about the Codex. Yo, the Codex Sinaiticus, the Codex Sinaiticus. It says the Codex Sinaiticus, also called the Senya Bible, is a 4th century Christian manuscript of a Greek Bible containing the majority of the Greek Old Testament, including the Deuterocanonical books and the Greek New Testament, with both the epistles of Barnabas and the Shepherd of Hermes included. Now you notice they don't have these books in the Bible, but according to the Bible, if you take away or add to the book, you're going to get hit with all the plagues. So what do we say of this? Whoever compiled this, are they going to be plagued with all the plagues in the Bible because the epistle of Barnabas and the Shepherds of Hermes is not in there? Who took that out? This is the Codex Sinaiticus. What you're going to find out is this, that the Hebrew Bible more likely was translated from the Greek. Now, some people hear that and be like, yo, man, what you talking about? When you look up some of these books, the Bible, right? Let's go to the European authorship of the Bible. When we come here and see European authorship of the Hebrew Bible, right? Now, we know for a fact that the primary source of the Bible is supposed to look like this, right? So if we had a primary source of scripture, it'll be in stone. But look at some of the oldest Hebrew codex that we have, the oldest full complete books. Now look, you got the Mishnah. Well, we're not going to count the Mishnah or the Midrash. But when we come down to the actual first book, the first complete book, which is coming up right here, you got the Samaritan Pentateuch, but we're not talking about that one. We're talking about this right here, the Jerusalem Talmud right here. The Jerusalem Talmud. This is a 4th century script. So the question is, where are they translating the Hebrew text from? Because we have Greek manuscripts that go back supposedly older, but when we get to the complete Jerusalem Talmud, the Apello, the Babylonian Talmud, what's the other one? Now you got the Codex Sinaiticus, right? So now, the Codex Sinaiticus is supposed to be a 4th, 5th century codex. Now this is in Greek, right? But then you have the Babylonian Talmud, which comes later. And then you have the Jerusalem Talmud, which is around the 4th century Common Era. But here's the thing about the Codex Sinaiticus. Let's get into that real quick. Right? The Codex Sinaiticus hoax. Uh-oh. Constantin von, let me see how you pronounce this nigga name again. I had it up here. You know, I'm going to just say Constantin von. You know, these last names be crazy. How you put Tisfundorf. Now, this is going to blow your mind. The Codex Sinaiticus hoax. Now, why do they call it Codex Sinaiticus a hoax? Well, let's see why. Now, for those who don't know, this is the guy who founded the Codex Sinaiticus. The Codex Sinaiticus, as they have here, is dated to, what's that right here? The 4th, 5th century, right? It says the Codex Sinaiticus can be dated with reasonable degree of confidence between the 4th and 5th century. Biblical scholars consider the Codex Sinaiticus to be one of the most important Greek texts of the New Testament, right? Well, let's do a little history on the Codex Sinaiticus. This is the founder and the discoverer of the Codex Sinaiticus. This guy right here, Constantin, right? Hold tight for a minute. Family, we're gonna get into this. We're gonna get into this cat right here. One second, family. Give me 1 minute to do this real quick, family. Let me run the rhythm quick fast. Quick fast, family. What's the word, Joe?
What's good with you, boy? Peace of light, dog.
Hey, man, I can't call it, man. What's the word? Good to see you, man, in good spirit.
Good to see you too, bro. Good to hear from you. To see that you was on here talking your shit. Want to see what you was about, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man, you know that little last debate I did with the Ethiopian shit kind of opened my eyes to a lot of shit I wasn't even aware of. You know what I'm saying?
What was that?
As far as the control that Rome had over goddamn Alexandria, Egypt, things of that nature, and how them council meetings, how they conducted themselves, and how these niggas was debating the divinity of Christ and all that shit. You know about the Council of goddamn Constantine and shit, the Nicene Council, but like the Council of Chalcedon, the Council of Ephesus, I wasn't too preppy on them councils until I had this debate and realized, like, damn, bro, these motherfuckers over here tripping. I ain't gonna we'll sit right there.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Composite text, dog. That's all they are. Old Testament, New Testament, they're just composite texts. That's all they are. They were written at different times by different authors for different audiences for different reasons, and that's what it is. So when you see the contradictions, the inconsistencies, the doublets and triplets of stories, that's because that shit wasn't written all at one time, and people just don't seem to grasp that. But they want to look at the back history of Owaski and all these other books, but never take the time to look at the composition history of their text.
Exactly.
So I tell motherfuckers, you have to look at the historical composition of your text before you start talking shit about somebody else's sacred text.
Facts, yo. Facts. Yeah, it's nasty work when you start doing that type of work too, because you got believers who just believe the literature, and then you got the historicity of that. And then when you get into the historicity, that's when it's like, damn, yo. Even with the Hebrew Bible, me and Malachi was talking, because we were like, yo, we're gonna have to reconsider even the Hebrew Bible, because the oldest scrolls they got is the Dead Sea Scrolls, but everything after the Dead Sea Scrolls that's not connected to the Dead Sea Scrolls, like the Jerusalem Talmud and Babylon Talmud, all that is coming from 10th century Common Era. You know what I mean? At that time, Greek already had the Old and the New Testament in Greek. So I was assuming, I heard this argument before, but now it's starting to come to light a little bit. They were saying, I think Walter Williams brought out, he was saying like, yo, the Hebrew we have comes from the Greek. And I used to always be like, damn, why he say that? You know what I mean? But now that I'm looking, I'm like, damn, he may have a point here. Because a lot of that Greek literature was translated from Hebrew. But even like the Septuagint, which is supposed to have been the first book translated from Hebrew, we don't know where that Hebrew text came from, that they translated it from. All we got, and to me, to be honest, I think that story is fabricated, because when I read it, it don't resonate like this shit is a true story. Talking about he got the 12 tribes of Israel during that time. What was those 12 tribes during that time of, the Ptolemy II? It was just hearing Jews for the most part. You know what I mean? So we was like, where did Ptolemy II, who got 72 brews, to translate this text, and where was the source material for that text that they probably used to translate the Septuagint?
Well, obviously they got it from Ezra's text or whatever, but like I was doing research on that, bro. Like if you look at I think it's Epiphanius, where he talks about the church fathers, and he talks about the Nazarenes, that they talk about the legislation being the Old Testament or just the Torah in general, and how the Nazarenes didn't view that legislation as authoritative. They knew of the patriarchs, Adam, Noah, Abraham, Enoch, all these biblical individuals that we read about in the Old Testament, but that those stories and all that shit that you read in the Old Testament, that's all fabricated. The church father even says that they don't even believe that's their legislation. They have some other legislation that nobody knows.
Right.
Just like the Owaski says, you had the written law, and then you had the oral law, which nobody knew because they didn't follow a written law when they were out there in the wilderness and shit like that. During the time of the judges, it tells you in Exodus that before Israel had kings over them, everybody did what was right in their own eyes. They didn't read or follow or were in the parameters of a written text. Thanks. You get what I'm saying? So it's just, people just got to do the history. They got to look at the shit, and they got to look at what stands. Okay, so if you want to believe in the Old Testament, you do want to believe there was a conquest in Canaan. If you look at the time frame that the Bible gives you, right, of the Old Testament, what was it like? What was the Exodus compared to people believing the Bible, like 1400 BCE?
You said what?
What was the time frame according to the biblical chronology that the Israelites left the Exodus?
They put that in Ramses' time period. They put that in the 12th century due to the fact that it says Ramses in there. So they placed it during the new kingdom under Ramses.
Okay, so if you look at all the shit after that, the conquest and shit like that, all the cities that Israel was basically dealing with were fortified cities. If you look at that time period, there were no fortified cities in Canaan during that time. It was before that time,
Facts.
right? Also, the city of Jericho. Supposedly, Israel walked around the city, whatever, blowing the shofar, and then the walls came down, right? There's no
Facts.
evidence of that. The destruction of Jericho goes back to 1550 BCE.
Mm.
And they got scarabs and shit from Amosa the first. The Egyptians destroyed Jericho,
Mm-hmm.
not the Israelites, because the Owapi tells you that when they left, they were peaceful. They were just sojourning. You understand? They were traveling. They wasn't going to war with people. You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's when you
But
brought up that. That's when you brought up that verse in Judges. It brought me to that when you brought up the that everybody did what was good in their own eyes. Now a lot of people that take that, I know a lot of brews that take that and say, oh, they was worshiping different deities or different gods. But you know, for us, that's that 400-year period when they was dealing with the peace policy. You know what I'm saying?
that's exactly what it was. And that's why I look at it like that. You know what I'm saying? Can't just be like you were saying, biased. They call you biased. That's what they do. They're being biased. You know what I'm saying? Like they just don't want to look at it. They want to look at their way as the only way. And it's just that's not how it is. The shit don't add up. It just doesn't add up.
It ain't adding
So
up. And then you know you got the
it's not like we throwing the baby out with the bathwater. We're not saying that Israel didn't exist. We're not saying these things. It's just how y'all believe them in these narratives. They're corrupt. That's not how shit went down. Unfortunately, you can't sit there and say, okay, the Israelites destroyed the city of Jericho during this time period, but all the destruction material that they got there goes back to 1550 BCE, and you got scarabs and shit like that from Moses the First and all these other Egyptians. And how the fuck was Israel and them? Let's say that they were during the Ramesside period. How would they have the conquest in Canaan when the fucking Egyptians had control of Canaan? You do what I'm saying? Like, how would that have been possible?
right, because you had the Thutmoses, they was having campaigns up in the regions at the time.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's true. And then, like you say, even when I was looking up the goddamn what's that? The Canaanite temple, were they holy of holies? They date that to 1650 BC. You know what I mean? When I was doing the homework on that shit, so I'm like, look at that. While niggas was still sojourning in Israel, so say, you had the Canaanites carrying on the priesthood with the holies of holies, already in operation. You know what I mean? So I'm like, yo, this shit is just out of this shit is. They say Luamon gonna be the most hated god, yo.
Hey, look, dog, it is what it is, man. Some guys, I don't even speak on them like that because, like I said, from my understanding, they're on the road to resurrection. Their punishment is dealing with all the bullshit that they've.
Yeah, they got a long way. Like even Anu Hassad, that nigga still linking around here somewhere. You know, he may get up out of here 24/8, but shit, you know, as long as the Lord and God still being acknowledged as creator, I don't know. Well, you know, I don't want to be orthodox with it because there is variables and you know what I mean. Ain't nothing by the book. It's according to the person. You know what I mean. If Anu Hassad out here earnest with it and putting out work for the last 2,000 years, Ernestine may get up out of here 2048. And the mess that got to be cleaned up, Lou among them and Baal and them got to clean it up. Like Baal, that nigga, I don't think he going nowhere. He had the longest reign out of all of them. He damn near reigned almost 4,000 years before he got there, fell.
That shit's still going on.
Say it again.
That shit's still going on. Him, Astaroth, and shit like that. Their systems and their doctrines and shit like that still have an influence over people. So. And as long as there's war on the earth, Luaman, Inakissa, Kabalaktis, and Gabriel, they're not going nowhere.
Yeah, Gabriel ain't going nowhere in no time soon. He probably gonna be here for the whole of the arc cycle. Because him and Louis gonna be they gonna be here the whole of the arc cycle for what they done laid out.
Yeah, Gabriel was better off staying in his stuff. He should never even change his name and went that route.
Yeah. See, the slick thing with Jabril, outside of the literature, that you know most Muslims will tell you that you know Allah's you can't see Allah. They stick to the fact that Allah is an invincible entity compared to the Bible, where it's like, all right, they in one part right here, he walking the earth, he's sitting in his chair. At least Jabril got that one edge. Now it's not much, but a little edge over Luamon with that aspect of who this entity, what they call a creator. They creator. They Allah. But of course, when you read the text, it's like, all right, well, this nigga said he was the same one as patriarchs of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So that means he Yahweh. You know what
Well,
I
he's
mean?
the one who built Lil Mon up. So at the end of the day, he would have knew how to tear him down. You know what I'm saying? So he would have did the opposite of what he did for him. He's like, okay, well, you're seen through the Son and Jesus. You know what I mean? That character of Jesus was basically Lil Mon's avatar and shit like that. You know what I mean? Not the historical Jeshua or Yeshu, but this Jesus character that you got, this Lamb of God and the sacrifice you know, for your sins and shit like that. That's Lil Mon. But Gabriel's the one that built that up for him.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly.
and you see it in the books. You see Gabriel talking to Daniel. You see Gabriel talking to the people in the New Testament, Joseph, Mary, repairing to them and shit like that. So that's why when you read the Quran, you can see the connection where like Gabriel was the one doing all that shit. He was the one doing the labor. And I also believe, even though the Owaski don't say this, but I also believe during the time of the composition of the Old Testament by Ezra and his scribes, I do believe that Gabriel and his hosts allowed contradictions and shit like that to creep in, because the time he was doing that, he was already being played on promises and shit. He had delayed promises by Lil Mon. So I think he just put in a plan, you know what I mean, in case his cat don't ever follow through with his promises.
And then, you know, they selected from various stories, so it'll probably be some parts where one story will contradict another when they put it all together under the auspice of Elohim or God or whatever. But that is true, though. You know what I mean? Jabril was the hitman for Louis. You know what I mean? He put in that pain for him. So that's why Islam is like such a dominant religion, because, like you said, he knew the pros and cons, what to do, what not to do.
And they're very what does it say? Gabriel was he did well with rites and ceremonies. That was his thing.
Right.
So that's why you see the Muslims praying 3 times a day and shit like that. They're more like disciplined, because Gabriel was a general in war, and you need your military to be disciplined.
Mm-hmm.
That's why when the Awafi talks about organization, sometimes it brings up, even though it doesn't support like being in a military or going out there going to war, it does admit that people in the military are disciplined. They're organized.
Right. Facts.
So since Gabriel came out of that, or was that, that's why you see that in Islam. That's why Islam seems to be more militant.
Exactly.
Because it comes from a military general, Gabriel, who uses Allah as a red herring to get you away from the fact to know that he's the one who started all that shit. That's all Allah is. Allah is a herring, because we know that Gabriel is Allah at the end of the day.
Facts. Yeah, man. So it's like, yo, the niggas, boy, they got a lot of cleaning up to do. You know what I mean? And, you know, what we trying to do is like, yo, y'all be careful. We on the road of knowledge and information, and it's like, it's books out here to let you know certain things. Watch be one of them. It's like, shoot. Ain't no telling where a nigga would be if I had this information. You'd still be headlong trying to figure out the mysteries and revelations and shit like that. Going nowhere.
But that's not for everybody too. They were saying like not everybody, like even the Owaski, it tells you that everybody has to have their own path. As long as you have a good morality to you and you live a righteous life, you're straight.
That is
you know
true.
what I mean? Got to serve people, good works. Yeah, everybody got to have their own path. Owaski for those that I guess just want more. You know what I mean? When you're an inquiring mind, that's what the Owaski's for, and all the other books like it. The Owaski, you can even consider the Urantia book. You know what I mean? You could say the Law of One. You know what I mean? And there's more books to come. The Owaski is the first fruits of all these books.
Facts.
So it's the standard for all these New Age books and these books that are channeled through spiritualism.
Exactly.
Because the Owaski is a channel text.
Exactly.
So
you got Antiquities Unveiled. I'm gonna have to get back on that. That's another banger right there. Going heavy into
the beauty for us as people who read the Owaski or text like that too, is that we're not bound by no text, not even the Owaski, because the Owaski is not even perfect. So we're not bound within the parameters of any text. We're free to go, because for us it's not about what's authoritative, it's about what's meritable. Does it have merit? If it makes sense and is useful, then we use it. That's it.
Exactly.
I'm not bound by the parameters of any set text.
Right. And that's what they don't understand. Cause they be like, yo, y'all know, y'all watch me catch. Like, yo, we ain't bound to the book. We told y'all that from day one. We basically saying that this book would beat up the Bible. That's the whole point of us coming to the platform, because it's supposed to be a house of consciousness, a debate coliseum, or like we call it, Battle of the Holy Books. So we're like, shit, let's put this shit up to battle. You know what I mean? Let's see. We already know who's gonna come out on top. We know that, but you know what I mean? Just to put the challenge out there, we needed to brush up on some things, which we did, which was the authorship and the lies that was told about the placenta grass eaters and all that. Cosmon killed all that. He buried all that. You know what I mean? When they came out with that, we had some of the faithists, the elder faithists, hit us with the information. Like, hey, hold that, boom. Cosmon took that and motherfucking annihilated that. So we had a debate with whoever the Lions and they tried to use that. Nigga, in 3 minutes, Cosmon debunked that whole shit. He said, look at the y'all didn't even look at the dates. The dates that these percentages is in 78. Nigga, the Owapi wasn't even written yet. That was it. That was it. That ended everything right there. You know what I mean? So it's like, but if we was challenged on that, we would have never did the homework to get that information to know that. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, all that shit needed. At the end of the day, regardless of how people feel about it, is what it is. Like, it's needed because it made y'all sharper, and made your opponents, hopefully it made them sharper and humbled them to a degree, and lets them know that this shit is bigger than you at the end of the day and what you believe in. So all that shit's needed. I just realized that day by day that, you know, you just gotta, that's what we're here for, bro. We already say we don't need no saviors and shit like that. We're here to rise in spirit and to uplift others with us. That's it.
That's Organization 33, baby.
Organization 33. You know what I'm saying?
Explain to the people, for y'all don't know, this brother got his own organization called Organization 33. You know what I mean? I'm a member. It's a couple other members. He's the head honcho of this organization. So go ahead and give the people a little breakdown of Organization 33. They may want to join. You know what I mean? You know?
Yeah. Well, I'm looking for recruits. You know what I'm saying? But I don't got it all down in pat just yet. But basically, it's just an organization that right now is small, and we just share ideas, and it's about creativity. You know, say like he raps and shit like that. You know, you got Bronze Yogi in there. He does his instrumentals. We got Yare. You got Malachi Maccabee in there. Everything. You know what I'm saying? Like Cosmon Cow, Daryl Cosmon. We got who's the other Cosmon? Zion. You dig what I'm saying? Like, we just sharing ideas. Right now it's small. I'm still trying to figure it all out, but it's just a group chat right now. But yeah, I would like to make it something, some sort of a movement. You know what I mean? Like, and it's more like in the shadows type. That's like the vibe to it, but it's mainly just community, creativity, and just lifting each other up.
Right.
Being fraternal, you know what I'm saying? That's it. Let's collaborate.
No doubt.
Not be selfish with our shit, you know what I'm saying? And hone each other's skills. Like, I was on the chat and I was talking to Bronze Yogi. Him and Yare supposed to be having a podcast coming out, and I was asking if they had a logo. He showed me his logo, and I went back from my own personal practice and see how they felt about it. You know, I was adding in their logo and shit like that, and see, you know, how you like it.
Right.
Try this perspective or whatever. You know what I mean? Community. Let's collaborate. Come together, because at the end of the day.
So you do graphic design as well.
Yeah, all that shit. Graphic design, any kind of creativity, any kind of art form that you're into, bring that. And let's collaborate and share what you trying to do or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, not saying I'm trying to be nosy in everybody's business, but it's just something that, you know, let's inspire each other. That's it.
Right, big facts. That's real talk. So what does the 33 represent? Why the 33 of all numbers?
33 represents community, creativity, and I mainly chose 33 because I believe in like angel numbers, numerology and shit like that. So I noticed, like, throughout my daily life, I would see the number 33 or 333 a lot when I'm not looking for it. Like, I'm not looking at the time or anything like that. I just see it or I hear it. You know what I mean? So I'm like, and when I researched it, it was just like, it's like a number that has the energy of creativity and community, but it's like there's higher spiritual entities that are basically trying to communicate with the individual that's seeing the 33 or the 333, saying that you can do, like, you're creative, and they want you to put the information out, and they're letting you know that if you put it out, we got you. We'll take care of it.
Mhm.
We just need you to take the step to put it out there.
Mhm.
And once you do that, they're gonna start making the moves for you and shit like that. Especially if you see 333. That's letting you know that you have some high spiritual entities around you. They're letting you know that we're here to support you. Whatever you're trying to do, that's obviously aligned with the light. We're going to support it and we're going to push it.
Right.
So I chose that. Also, Organization 33 is a play off of whoever here plays video games and shit like that. I'm a fan of the franchise Kingdom Hearts. And in the game, within the series, there's an organization called Organization 13.
Oh, what's the name of the
So,
game?
Kingdom Hearts.
Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, it's called Kingdom Hearts. It's old, but they got a whole bunch of games and shit. Some
Mm-hmm.
people on here might know there's like a fusion between Disney and Final Fantasy characters and shit made by Square Enix.
PlayStation 4?
Yeah, they're like primarily on PlayStation, but they're on like all consoles now.
All right, go ahead.
You just look it up. But yeah, that's where it comes from. There's an organization, they're called 13, and they wear like black coats and shit like that. And their mission is different from my mission. You know, obviously they're out there trying to gain hearts because I also like the series because it's deep. They talk about like the heart and darkness and shit like that. And you got cats losing their bodies and becoming spiritual entities and taking over other vessels, like other bodies and shit. And they believe in like reincarnation, all this other shit. So it's a very convoluted story, but it's very interesting too, because again, Walt Disney and Disney are like into the occult and shit. So that's into the game. And when you're dealing with the Owaspy, you're also dealing with the occult.
Right.
So that's all that shit because it's a channel work. So I just played off of that and I made Organization. And instead of saying 13, because in the game they had 13 members, that's why it was called that. I just called this one Organization 33 based off of the number that I see and also what it represents. Creativity, community, uplifting others, serving one another. And that's what it's about.
That's dope. So that definition of 33, does that come from the numerology aspect of it?
Yeah. I'm paraphrasing a lot of it. I ain't, you know what I mean? There's a lot more to it.
I used to study numerology, and that's a dope study right there. You know what I mean? And they got definitions for each numbers and stuff like that. So I figured, I was like, you know what? That sounds like probably that's rooted in numerology when they break down the definitions of the numbers and stuff like that. Yeah, man, that's some good stuff right there. So yeah, man, y'all hit up the brother. You know what I mean? He got his own joint. You got your YouTube channel up yet? For that particular.
Yeah, nah, I don't got a channel up for it. Yeah, I got an account, like a channel that I don't do nothing with. This one that I'm using right now, but
okay, cool.
I'm gonna start doing something. I gotta start moving. I was telling Bronze that I gotta stop bullshitting. I gotta start. I'm not getting any younger. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta start putting this shit out.
We all procrastinate sometimes, but you know what I mean. When it hit, you know what I'm saying. When you come up with your system and how you want to lay it out. Do it. You know, nowadays shit is so easy. All this AI shit, it's like shit. They just cutting everything in half, doing things.
Yeah, it's making everything easier. That's why I really don't have no excuse at the end of the day. Like I have access to AI. I think right now I'm a little bit tight on finances because I'm like I just started a new job, so I'm in between. So I'm kind of trying to get my shit back up. But because prior to that, like you got to pay for that shit too. Like if you're not paying for it.
Yeah, they got me. I did the 1999 one for a month. Nigga, the bill came around. I'm like, hold up, nigga, where this come from? They get
exactly.
You using it, and then you may go over your limit, and then you're using it still, but they don't tell you that. So when that bill comes, it's like, yeah, where that come from? I'm like, all right, won't be using you right now. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm good on that.
So it's about budgeting and shit. When you're using a free trial, there's only so much you can do. You know what I mean? Like you can create images on like ChatGPT. You have Gemini, shit like that. And it's all about prompting at the end of the day. But like, I also want to do the music, and I also want to do the videos. You know what I mean? So separately, you have to pay for those. You know what I'm saying? So right now, I'm just trying to like budget my shit together and just do what I can right now. But as far as Organization 33, anybody who want to join, you know where to find me. Just let the boys know. We'll bring you in and shit like that. But right now, it's just behind the scenes. It's small. It's just a chat group. You know what I mean? It's in its infant stages, and it's not something that you have to like fully commit to. It's just you're just there to chat and be creative. That's it. Collaborate. Give each other ideas. That's it.
Yeah, I heard it live and direct from the God. You know what I mean? So y'all tap in with the brother, man. You got acquired knowledge, man. Y'all want to tap in with him. Got my little dog over there going crazy in the window. How can we find? A little question on there. Somebody reached out. Sharice, it's good. Somebody said, "How can
I
we?"
guess it's a chat group. So how do you find the messenger?
Yeah, I don't know if you got a messenger link you can hit them with or something like that.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to put it out there. Let me see. Hold on.
Well, if not, you send me the link and I could drop it in the link below for later purposes and shit. Who that at the door? Somebody at the door? Oh. Yes, family, we out here. You know how we do.
I don't want to say that the brother won. Y'all can say what you want.
Run it.
Where y'all going?
Run it.
I ain't hurt.
King Selah Shalom, another victory. Hail meet the king, cause that's what it tend to be. War child got crushed, I took him out his misery. Swing swords cut his vocal cords quite sufficiently. Zion under my feet met his defeat instantly. Trying to compete, run the retreat before you mention me. In the Coliseum, I got eyes on my enemies. In mausoleums, I'ma leave them for coming centuries. Headshot fatal, couldn't recover from his injuries. Bloody gore, ligaments tore, did him viciously. Cut him to the core, give him some more. Straight consistent, settle the score. Cause I'm for sure another victor. Cut through Zion like a knife, decapitate, take life. Put his head on the altar for the ultimate sacrifice. For years you've been living lies, following the myth in the sky. Greco-Roman theology through Ethiopian eyes. You just as blind as Christians who thinking Jesus is why. Truth in front your face and you seem they can't get it right. Jah Rastafari, not gonna save your life. Real killers moving silence in the shadow of night. The sleeping giant awoke, you know it's been a while. Coming out of hibernation, hungry, thirsty on the prowl. When the conquering lion growling, echoes about a mile. I'm the real god of war, this nigga just a war child. Sacrifice him to his god, now his soul's immortal. Walking through the valley of death on brimstone tiles. Zion wanted smoke, got suffocated by poison clouds. If you can't take the heat, get the hell out the kitchen now. Standing on my square and I'm here to retain the crown. This debate Coliseum, I'm bringing the building down. 2 years ago we told you a new sheriff was in town. Battle of the holy books, bitch, we back you niggas down.
Woo! Man, it's hot up in this place, man.
Yeah, man. You know, that's just how we
So
do.
y'all want to say that the brother?
That's just how we do around these parts. Yeah, you know. So until our brother Lucy, he getting it over there getting it together.
Nah, I'm just over here right now. I don't know how to share it. The best thing I can say is I don't know how you really search groups on chat because it's on Messenger. I guess just look up Organization 33.
Okay, I hear that. Look up Organization 33.
Bronze Yogi knows too. He's in the chat. Yara, anybody, Malachi, just type it out for people and just you should be able to find it.
Yeah, Yogi, go ahead and drop that link in there. Mr. Yog, man. Let me see if I can do it from my phone real quick. Boom, boom.
What I don't want to do is I don't want to turn Organization 33 into a debate group, though. That's what I don't want to turn it into. I have a separate idea for that.
Oh, no, yeah, if niggas start getting on that type of time, you just kick them out and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because cats don't necessarily. My bad. What were you saying?
No, I'm just saying everything don't got to be a debate.
Yeah, because you don't necessarily have to read or vibe with your WASP to be in the organization either.
Right.
So, like, I got some Christians up in there. They're just not active in there. They're in there. You know what I mean? I got some people from different backgrounds and shit like that on there. They're just not active. The main people that are active right now is just like me, Bronze, Yare, sometimes Selah, Cosma, Malachi. You know what I mean? Y'all share links and shit like that.
Right.
But like this video, this will be shared in the group. So.
Right. Yes, sir. So that's what's up, man. So everything else, what else good? Everything else good with you?
Everything's well. Everything. Yeah, I'm still in Philly. Mm-hmm.
Right. That's what's up, man. Yes, sir.
Economy's getting bad, bro. So it's not really much. I'm just kind of. It's not that I've been doing. I've been researching the economy and politics. I've been doing that since 2020. Um, so I've also been getting into that, finances and shit like that. Just understanding how money works,
Facts.
and just witnessing this worldwide greed that's going on, this transfer of wealth from, the working middle class to the elites. It's just crazy. And that's why we have all this inflation, all this, when you print money, it causes the value of money to get lower. And that's why shit gets more expensive. So like loans, stimulus checks and shit like that. A lot of people just don't understand how money works and who controls money. And it's the Federal Reserve, which is a private entity. Even though they have federal on there, it's not public, it's private. So they're like a parasite on the country. And they're just a central bank like anywhere else in the world. But, they print money for the government. Basically, the government don't really make money. The people that are in Congress and shit like that, they get paid through our taxes and shit. And they got their side hustles that get them their money, their little lucrative deals and shit like that, and the corruption that comes with that. But like when they do fundings and shit like that, the government, they do that with our taxes, what we pay on our paychecks and shit. What they can't pay in taxes, they have to ask the Treasury for more. They have to ask the Federal Reserve, but it goes through the Treasury. And then the Treasury gives the Federal Reserve the IOU. The Federal Reserve okays it and then gives the Treasury the go ahead to print the money. But they print the money out and they lend it to the government with interest. And the thing is, who pays that interest? It's the people,
Right.
not the politicians and shit. People who are the ultra wealthy, like your technocrats and shit like that. So inflation works against us. It really just robs us of our money. That's why shit is so expensive, and you feel that shit is not as affordable as it used to be, because it's not.
Facts.
It used to be way cheaper back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
I remember when rent was $450. I remember rent was
yeah,
$450.
bro.
96, nigga, rent was $450 out here. And that's for 3 bedrooms and shit. That's crazy.
I'm paying $1,100 for a 1 bedroom.
Yeah, up north prices. Up north prices be crazy. They robbing niggas up north. They get like that down here too, though. You know what I mean? They getting just like that. The prices is crazy for rent.
But it's just coming, bro. The economy is going to crash. That's inevitable at this point. If you don't do your research, that shit's just going to hit you hard. But there's going to be a great system reset. It's supposed to happen by 2030 or the early 2030s. You might see it as early as 2028. You're really going to start seeing the effects of it this year, definitely going into 2027. And by 2028, a lot of shit's about to pop off. You got AI taking jobs. Like,
yeah, that's second
crazy.
about to hit, yo.
That's what the Great Reset is. It's the Great Depression 2.0.
Exactly. But
So-
that 100-year cycle about to repeat. Sheesh.
And history is cyclical. So we look to the past, because what's going to happen in the future is not a carbon copy of the past. It just follows patterns. It has those echoes.
Right.
The past has a nasty habit of coming back.
Exactly. Facts.
He even tells you, I think, in the book of Ecclesiastes, in the Hebrew Bible, that nothing's new under the sun. What happened before, what once was, will be.
Right.
And what is, once was. Like, ain't nothing new under the sun. Originality is just it's an illusion, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like,
No. That's true,
it's a
man.
fucking illusion.
This shit dope. This shit deep.
Even in the WASP, they
Get
teach you
to it.
shit happens in cycles. In the WASP, shit happens in cycles, like 3,000-year periods, more or less.
Right. Exactly. So it's like, I think this is what we in the Zarathustrian cycle of a 3,000-year period, repeat on the third. I forgot one time I had it all written down and shit. But yeah, them 336699s and them 336699s repeating like that. That's crazy.
And that's another 33. That's in there too. When you're reading it, when you're prophesying this shit, number 33.
Yeah,
Like,
no.
Organization 33, dog.
I be seeing 11 a lot. I be seeing 9/11 a lot, Joe.
Yeah. Look it up. You can look it up right now. What's 9/11? Do numerology of 9 and 11, and then put them together.
Yeah, I know 11 is a master builder.
Then add them all up and see what that gives you and look at that.
I mean, birthday fall on that. It says in numerology, 9/11 signifies a powerful spiritual message, often interpreted as a wake-up call or significant life change, spiritual growth, humanitarian service, and alignment with one's higher purpose, urging reevaluations of priorities and embracing new spiritual paths where enlightenment often seen as angelical guidance. That's crazy. That's crazy. Let me share it on the screen so y'all can see it too. Yeah, I have to be deep into that numerology, but I should go in.
And instead of serving humanity or whatever services, what do? You do the herbal teas.
Yeah, exactly. As I'm reading, I'm aligning with what I do with the statement saying. I'm like, okay, that kind of fits.
Exactly.
There you go, right there. It's an AI overview. So y'all can see it. Number 9 equal compassion and endings. 11 intuition, spiritual insight.
And then when you get a chance, look up 33, since we were talking about the organization, like
33 represents as a rare master number representing master teacher. Bam. That's dope. Hold on. Master teacher is significant, someone who can teach profound spiritual or humane wisdom, acting as a guide and a healer, compassion and love, embodies the highest spiritual vibration of love, empathy, and altruism. How do you pronounce that? The deep desire to serve others. Characteristics of Life Path 33, intuitive and empathetic, possesses intention, intuition, deep understanding, and strong emotional capacity. Creative and expressive, a strong drive for creating, creative thinking, and artistic expression. Challenging path, requires immense discipline, bravery, and a willingness to face difficult lessons to realize its potential. But that'll be the one I'll be focused on right there, the challenging path. The discipline got to be stronger. Bravery is there, but depending on the situation and the circumstances.
Yup.
You can be brave as a motherfucker, be a coward like a motherfucker, depending on the situation. Are willing to face difficulties. That's a good one.
Well, you're already doing that with what you're doing right now, with Battle of the Holy Book and stuff like that. That's being brave. You know what I mean? You stepping up, like you speaking the truth instead of being silent. You're not keeping it to yourself. You're putting it out there. So at the end of the day, that fits. And anybody who's like that has a strong desire for creativity. That's what I want in the organization. Go ahead.
This fits all of us, to be honest, right here. I see all of us in this right here. Like
exactly.
Or as far as
that's why I chose it.
What you're representing, yeah, I see this in you definitely on that. Especially this first one right here, where it says it's significant, someone who can teach profound spiritual and humane wisdom, acting as a guide and a healer. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to be the master teacher. I want to be around. I want to be in the midst of master teachers. You know what I'm saying? But we just kind of bounce off each other and shit. Like, that's it.
Yeah, but it do come a point where you reach a level of mastery, even if you don't want to. Even when I be with martial artists, and I'll be like, man, y'all niggas is masters, man. And they'll kind of brush it off like, nah, man, we just, just routine and just exercise. We do this for years, and then that's where we at with it. But for them, they just like, they still on the road to mastery. To me, and like, y'all niggas is masters, nigga. If I throw 2 punches at y'all niggas, y'all about to do something to break a nigga down and shit. So, it's like being a student and a teacher at the same time.
Yeah, essentially.
Because you were a student to what you're learning, and you were a teacher and a master to what you already know, and you can share with others. Let me put that 66, see what it say.
I think somebody also put 444 in the chat.
In numerology, 66 is a powerful number symbolizing unconditional love, nurturing, harmony, and responsibility. Now, who talks about this? Ain't nobody talking about 66 to represent this. From a religious point of view, all we think of 66 is the devil, the mark of the beast. But outside of religion, what is the significance of 66? Look at this, yo. Deep emphasis on affection, care, and strong bonds within the family unit. Nurturing and service, a call to provide selfless service, protection, and support to others. Nigga, that's a watch me. That's service to others. Harmony, promote stability, compassion, and a mutual understanding in relationships. Creative power, combines intellect and imagination for positive, tangible. When you see 66, spiritual growth, it is a reminder to prioritize love, compassion, and nurturing in your life. Relationships focused on heartfelt connections and mutual understanding. Essentially, 66 encourages you to use your creative talents to build a stable, loving, and harmonious life for yourself and those around you. Acting as a bridge between the spiritual and material worlds. That's interesting. You better hand me on this motherfucker. Going through all these numbers and shit now. Shit. 99. You said somebody in the chat said put a what?
I think somebody put 444.
444.
Yep.
The numerology 444 is an angel number, signifying divine support, protection, and guidance. Interesting.
That almost sounds like 333 because 333 is kind of like the same, but everyone's in alignment with 33.
Angels are guiding you, and the universe is with you, and you are not alone. Okay. That's interesting. Spiritual guidance. Let me put in that third.
Remember how the Owaski says angels speak to you. They speak to you through signs, inspiration, and dreams.
Facts. Exactly.
Because they can't reveal themselves to you, so that's how they speak to you.
Right.
It's either through signs, symbolism, which will be those angelic or numerology. What was it? Signs, inspiration. They give you inspiration. You could also get evil angels to inspire you to wicked things too.
Yo, let me tell you something. I had a dream the other day, yo, and I always had these dreams, just consistent. Where I be before people levitating, showing people I can levitate. I may levitate and put my hand and touch the ceiling and come back down before the people. Like I just be showing people that I can levitate, yo. And it's like in the dream, it's like you feel what you do, and it's like I can feel a combination. It's like an inhale and then a rising. You know what I mean? Then I just control it. Yo, it was just crazy how realistic it felt doing it. And I wake up remembering, like, damn, I remember exactly what I did and everything. But I guess being a spiritual body so light that inhale or that intake, like how we take a deep inhale of oxygen, that inhale of oxygen or that intake is what lifts me up. And then the exhale is what brings me down. But that's in a dream. You know what I mean? So I'm like, damn, the corporeal body is heavy as hell to try to pull that off. But I seen my man levitate before. I seen the nigga do this shit before.
Mm.
But you know what I mean? I wish I could see him again because I'm like, yo, nigga, we about to have a deep discussion on how you do this shit because I ain't leaving until I figure this shit out because I seen this nigga do it before my eyes, King. And I was like, oh. But I've been having vivid dreams about that shit. Like, yo, what this about, yo? This shit keep happening. Like,
is your homie around or did he have son already?
I seen his brother like a couple months ago. He's still around because I asked about him. They from Belize. They twins. They from Belize. And he was like his brother. He said, last time I spoke to him, he was like, yeah, but he downtown strung out on drugs and shit like that. I was like, damn. Even when I seen him, he was kind of beat up. Like, he was kind of looking kind of rough. Like a nigga maybe been living on the street. But he had good intention. He had good heart. He wasn't on no, like, evil shit. He was just on he was just in a fucked up situation. And I was on a rally, you know what I mean? And after the 5% rally, then he walked up to us and he was like, I can levitate. You know what I mean? He just said that shit. And then he did it right there on the spot. He did it. And I was like, nah, yo, you tripping. And I got right where his feet at, you know what I mean? And I told him to do it again. He formed the cross. So the nigga formed the cross. Like how Jesus hangs on the cross. He put his body in that position. He had his arms spread out and he lifted up his head slightly up like a 45-degree angle. And he had his feet together. The nigga came off the ground, bro, and I was right by his feet. It was no tricks. It was nothing for me to be like, he could have did this. The nigga came up off the ground, son. He came up off the ground like, I said like 8, 7, 9 inches. You know what I mean? Probably like the size of a ruler. He came off the ground that high. And he was in the air for about like 6 seconds when he first did it. I was like, oh, shit. That was my words right there. Oh, shit. I was with my homeboy. He said the same thing. He like, oh, shit. And then when he came down, the nigga looked at us and started laughing. And I'm looking at this nigga. He laughing at us, and I'm looking at this nigga like, yo, how the fuck you do that shit, bro? And then he said, you ever thought about it? I was like, damn, okay. I was like, I was like, yo. And then I said again, I said, yo, how you do that shit, yo? That nigga was just looking at me like, doing that shit. And I was like, man, do that shit again, man. That nigga formed that cross, put his feet together, and the nigga came up off the ground again, son. I was like, what the fuck, yo? They're going crazy now because we like, yo, we right there in the middle of the street. Nobody seeing this shit. Cars driving by. Nobody. It's like we were just suspended in time for a minute looking at this observation. And I'm looking at this nigga like, yo, how the fuck you do that shit? I kept saying that. And at the time, I was so mesmerized. He was talking, but I couldn't really take in what he was saying because I was stunned by that shit. It threw me the fuck off. And then I said, yo, man, do that shit one more time, yo. And then the nigga formed the cross again. He looked up. And this time it took about at least 10 seconds before he got off the ground. He was just sitting there for a minute. But then when he got off the ground this time, he started leaning forward with his head. Like he almost tilted at like a 35-degree angle. He was like this. When he came off the ground, he was tilted like this with his head facing. And he was shaking like this in the air. And then when he came down, you know how like you almost miss a step coming down some stairs? He did that number and he landed. And as soon as he got on the ground, he went like this. He said, sometimes it hurt my head. He did just like this. And when he did that part, I was like, all right, so we got to do something with your mind. There's some type of pressure to your mind. And this is what I'm telling myself when he said that part. So I went home, like, I got to figure this shit out. Then I see my man about a month later who's with me, and he said something that I didn't catch, that he caught. He said the nigga took a deep breath before he did it. It's like the nigga said, and then held that shit. And then from that point forward, whatever he did in his mind or however he figured that, the nigga came off the ground, King. He came off the ground. The first time was about 6 seconds. The second time was roughly about the same, maybe a second shorter. And the third time may have been like 4 seconds, but the nigga did it all through time. But on that last one, he came down and started rubbing his forehead like this. And I was like, damn. I was trying to figure that shit out, going to the crib, taking deep breaths straight in my motherfucking head, trying to figure this shit out. I said, nah, next time I see this nigga. And then the nigga asked me for a cigarette after he did that shit. So I knew it had nothing to do with that. All right, this nigga asked me for a cigarette. And I had some Goldie, what you call them, Golden Graham, little fishy, whatever the fuck I gave him that. I ain't no cigarette. I don't smoke cigs. And I gave him that. Somebody ended up getting a cigarette. He smoking a cigarette. I'm looking at this nigga. My mind fucked up now because I'm thinking purity is the way you get to that point. This nigga smoking a cigarette, but he did it. So I'm like, all right, it ain't got shit to do with that. There's some other shit going on with this shit. That's what I told myself, I said, fuck the purity. That shit is out the window. There's something else going on with this shit. Because the nigga asked me for a cigarette, and it was almost like a smack in my face. It was like the angel said that intentionally through this nigga to throw me the fuck off. Like, yeah, let me get a cigarette. It ain't like the nigga asked me for an apple and shit. The nigga asked me for a cigarette.
Hey, maybe if he was pure, right?
Mm-hmm.
He already had that ability to do that. And then maybe with the purity, like you talking about, he probably would have been able to levitate longer, and he wouldn't have been like, his head probably wouldn't have hurt it.
Exactly, it would have been more advanced. So I'm like, man, if I ever see this nigga again, I'll fuck around and go live right there if I catch this nigga. But when I see this brother like 2 months ago, I see this nigga downtown. His brother's a Rasta. He sing reggae and shit. They from Belize. So when I seen him, every time I bring up his brother, he get kind of like, because all the shine go to his brother, because you know he the Rasta with the dread, you singing the bar, the Rastafari, nigga, but your brother know how to levitate, nigga. Fuck all that shit what you talking about. So when I see the nigga, I'm like, yo, what's up with your brother, yo? That's what he told me. He like, yeah, he downtown somewhere. He kind of out there on the street, strung out or whatever. He out there. I said, I'm gonna go find this nigga. If I go downtown, I'm gonna look for this nigga one day. Because downtown ain't so big as far as where niggas be at. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's the homeless area. It's like it's a little park over there. It's a certain parameter niggas staying. Like you ain't gonna see these homeless niggas in downtown up in Buckhead. You gonna see them niggas probably as far as from downtown and Garnett Station to the Peachtree Station. So if I just scout the area, walk around one day and look for this nigga and find him, I'm gonna ask nigga, can you still levitate? I'm gonna ask him to do it, and he do it. I'm going right live on YouTube and say, yo, I found the nigga, y'all. I found him. I'm about to show y'all nigga that can levitate, boom, boom, boom. Because I do got his brother number in my phone somewhere too. I forgot. I do got this nigga number. I had to call this nigga right now. Let me see if I got this nigga number on my phone. I'm gonna call this nigga.
Did you know his like belief or his spiritual background? The boy that was levitating from belief.
Say it again.
Did you know like his spiritual background, or that was like a one time you had just met him type of deal?
I knew this nigga for a minute. Though I just didn't recognize him because he looked at homeless. See, I knew him from. I used to hold down this club. I used to be the doorman. I used to collect the money at the door, and he used to come to the club. Him and his brother, because his brother used to sing reggae at the club. It was Wednesday nights, 186 Auburn Avenue, downtown Atlanta, and we had the club Wednesday night. So his brother, they both used to come, and I collect the money at the door. But I used to let the nigga in free because he used to come up there. As soon as he come to the door, he'll start dancing like Michael Jackson and have me laughing. So every time he come up, I said, yo, if you dance like Michael Jackson, I'll let you in for free. So this nigga start dancing like Michael Jackson, do, and I'll let him in. This the same nigga who levitated. But when I seen him the day that he did the levitation, he looked bummy and dirty, so I ain't recognize him at all. Until, like, after a while, I'm looking at this nigga like, yo, you look mad familiar, yo. I said, yo, you used to go to the Peacock and dance like Michael Jackson? He said, yeah, that's been verified. Like, oh, yeah, but he was looking rough. And I was like, yo, you remember me? He was like, yeah, I remember you. I'm like, okay, all right. So I'm like, nigga, what's good? How the fuck you do that shit? But if I can find this nigga, his brother number right now, let me see if I got to before I get offline very quick, man. His brother trying to say it's a trick. Nah, he ain't do that for real. It's a trick. I said, nigga, I seen your brother do it, nigga. This ain't no trick. I don't know what type of money. I don't know why you may be mad because you can't do it and you the Rasta and the Selassie and your brother just this so-called and y'all like this bum nigga and he could do it. I don't know what it is, but bruh, the nigga did it. And last time I seen him, I burnt the spliff with him. I showed him the Owaspi. He was all into it. But I told him his brother could levitate. He was just looking like, almost like I'm like, nigga, that's your brother, nigga. You should be able to do that shit too. Let me see if I got this nigga number on my phone, Belize, because he from Belize.
And you was being a Owaspi back in the 90s, right?
Nah, I got a Owaspi in like 2005.
Oh, okay, 2000s, early 2000s. All right.
Yeah, I got it right when YouTube came out. That's why I was able to put that shit on there at that time.
You said it was in the 90s that you was into like Kemetic shit or whatever, right?
Yeah, I started out with goddamn Kemet, indeed. I have to find this nigga number, but if I find it, yeah, I started out with Kemet. I started with ancient Egypt. That's what I started out with. And then I went from ancient Egypt. Like I read the Egyptian Book of the Dead at the time, Temple and Man, the Metal Netta book from Ra and the Fur, whatever the nigga name was. And then I went into
you came out the Osirian system.
Yeah, I came out the Osirian system indeed. I had if you go back and look at my yearbook picture in 1996, I got the Unk on and everything. But like you say though, I wasn't locked in though, you know what I'm saying? I was still reading the Bible and I was still digging that. I was into like Revelation, the Book of Daniel. I was into more like the mysteries and the prophecies. And then like early 2000, my homeboy came out from New York. He was talking about that Israelite shit. And I was like, Israelite? You know, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the 12th tribe, you know, Yeshua. And I knew about Yeshua, but I never connected, for whatever reason, the Israelite shit. It just, you know, I knew about Yeshua, I knew about Abraham, but I never connected the whole Israelite storyline, you know what I mean? Because I was going from hearing the book. You know, you're dealing with the mysticism of the Bible. You're not really looking at how the patriarch storyline is laid out. So I ain't know nothing about the Israelite shit like that. I see it, you know what I mean? But I ain't know, like, I ain't connected like this is me, and I'm connected to these people and nothing like that. To my man in 2000, like, yo, we the Israelites, and boom, boom, boom. And they showed me the 400-year slavery in Genesis, and I already knew that. But he connected to the Israelites, and I was like, damn, okay. So we the Israelites, huh? But again, I still wasn't locked in. And before the Israelites, before that, and that's 2000. In 96, I had got the Quran. I read the whole Quran, was practicing al-wudu in 96 when I was still in high school. You know what I mean? So I went from Kemet to Islam, then to the Israelite doctrine. It's like Nuwapi, and I got some of their doctrine prior to the Israelite doctrine. But that was my 90s run. Kemet, Orthodox Islam, and the Nuwabian Hebrew Israelite. They kind of first run, because that was popular in the 90s, especially downtown Atlanta. You go to the city, niggas on the corner having them debates, especially the Nuwabians. They kind of held it down. But the Nuwabians in the 90s, the Nuwabians and the 5%ers was like how the Israelites are today. They were the ones on the street corners having the ciphers, but the 5%ers was real aggressive, because most of them was New York niggas, and they was real aggressive in them ciphers. Like if you was a 5%er and you went up in one of the rallies and one of them ciphers, you really had to know your shit, because niggas would be on your ass if you didn't. That's where I was at when I seen a nigga levitate. I was at a 5% rally. And niggas was about to get on my ass, because I ain't coming in dropping lessons. I came in there talking about the moon cycles, and these niggas were looking at me like I'm crazy. And nigga pulled me to the side. He pulled me out the cipher and said, yo, you know what I mean? The brothers ain't really do. Nigga pulled me away from the cipher, bro, to speak about what I was saying. Because I was bringing the moon cycle to them. Them niggas wasn't familiar with it. They was dealing with the lessons. 120. What's today's mathematics, God? Oh, today's knowledge, God. Knowledge being a boom, boom. That's what they wanted to hear. I came with some told. So nigga escorted me out the cipher, whispered in my ear like, yo, you know, the brothers ain't really do. And I came back in the cipher like, all right, fuck it. I just listened. And I just listened to the guy, because I realized I already knew they wasn't on the levels, but shit, here I am, nigga. And somebody invited me to the shit, so I popped up, dropping the knowledge. Like, fuck it. And I had a WASP too. And I think I brought a little piece of that shit out prior to the cipher beginning. But it was right after that motherfucking cipher, I was talking to another nigga about Yahshua levitating walking on water on in the story when he was walking on water. That was the conversation I was talking about when the dude walked up who said he could levitate right after that 5% rally. And when the dude walked up, he said, what did you say just now? I said, nah, I was just telling my man about how Yahshua was walking on water. And then that's when he said, I could levitate. And me and my man looked at each other like, the fuck you talking about? You can levitate. Sure enough, the nigga levitated, Joe. The nigga did that shit in like 3 seconds. Like, shoot! I'm like, wait. What the fuck was that? I'm like, that was a trick, man. That's when his brother, because his brother was like, oh, yeah, that's a trick he be doing. I was like, nah, nigga, I seen him do it 3 times. And on the 2 times I seen it, that wasn't no trick, nigga. Both of his feet came off the ground, nigga. I could have rolled under his feet, nigga. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, you knew what you saw. You telling you, I know what I saw. That wasn't no trick. Like, I believe it.
Yeah, that shit real, King. I'm gonna find a nigga next time. But hey, I gotta get ready to bounce. My people's waiting outside for me. I gotta go do some filming today.
All right, bro. It was good talking to you. Thank you for having me on.
Yes,
I'm gonna
man.
talk to you soon.
Always a good bill. Always feel free to come on too, man.
Yes, sir.
Always welcome, like always, yo.
I appreciate that, bro.
I want to tell the people where they can
Peace,
find you
man.
when we out of here, man.
You can find me. My name is Alushu Luminos on Facebook. I don't really do nothing on YouTube, so there's no point in bringing that out. But yeah, Lushu Luminos. Lushu is Luxu. That's how you spell it. Luminos is Luminos. So look that up if you want to find my page, and if you want to join Organization 33, you want to see what that's about, just look up Organization 33. You should be able to find it in chat groups.
Yes, sir. And that's your brother Lucy. You know what I mean? So with that, your boy Shalom Shalom. I'm out of here till next time. I'll continue and expose the Kodak Sinatica host. You're gonna be real interested when I bring out what's really the details about that book. So till next time, family, we out of here. Your boy Shalom Shalom. Salute. Until
Peace
next
and
time.
light.
Peace and love and light. Yo, we out of here. And we gonna end it with the diss track, of course.
But say what you want to. Y'all voted the way y'all voted. I ain't hurt.
King Selah Shalom, another victory. Hail meet the king, cause that's what it tend to be. War child got crushed, I took him out his misery. Swing swords cut his vocal cords quite sufficiently. Zion under my feet met his defeat instantly. Trying to compete, run a retreat before you mention me. In the Coliseum, I got eyes on my enemies. In mausoleums, I'ma leave them for coming centuries. Headshot fatal, couldn't recover from his injuries. Bloody gore, ligaments tore, did him vicious, gut him to the core. Give him some more, straight consistent, settle the score. Cause I'm for sure another victor. Cut through Zion like a knife, decapitate, take life. Put his head on the altar for the ultimate sacrifice. For years you've been living lies, following the myth in the sky. Greco-Roman theology through Ethiopian eyes. You just as blind as Christians who thinking Jesus is why. Truth in front your face and you seem they can't get it right. Jah Rastafari, not gonna save your life. Real killers moving silence in the shadow of night. The sleeping giant awoke, you know it's been a while. Coming out of hibernation, hungry, thirsty on the prowl. When the conquering lion growling, echoes about a mile. I'm the real God of war, this nigga just a war child. Sacrifice him to his God, now his soul's immortal. Walking through the valley of death on brimstone tiles. Zion wanted smoke, got suffocated by poison clouds. If you can't take the heat, get the hell out the kitchen now. Standing on my square and I'm here to retain the crown. This debate Coliseum, I'm bringing the building down. 2 years ago we told you a new sheriff was in town. Battle of the holy books, bitch, we backed you niggas down.
Man, it's hot up in this place, man.